that be possible? Like, are there anyone doing this? I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean,
usually
there
we
are
don't
people.
do. Mm,
We don't do in our school at all. Like we
mm,
say,
mm,
you even said at the very starting of this conversation before we even got
mm,
to that question of
mm,
like, Western medicine and medicine in general have its place. And I
mm,
think that's really at the forefront of our practice is like, this is an augmentation of your life. It's not a replacement of, getting help when you need it and
mm.
doing that. So,
I understand. Like some, for example, some students or client actually they don't want to do medication.
yeah,
Yeah, I have these kind of cases. Of course, I'm not really encouraging them like, oh, Gio, so you just do Reiki, then you don't have to take medication. Like that's
right.
not a suggestion that we can give. But I'm also kind of understand that the people just don't want to take too many medication. And even myself, like, because when I was just starting Reiki, actually my kids are very small and they have a lot of allergy problems. Yeah,
Mm,
it's not the Reiki that I wanted to apply, it on my kids. But then that's the time, like when I started to feel like, oh, maybe do I still go to see a conventional
hmm
doctor because my kids really hate the medicine and but every time just no improvement, taking the same drugs like antibiotics and some, those steroid cream like yeah, so we do many times, but yeah, there's a very good significant change after we put the cream on it. But then a few weeks later, then there's another new symptom came up, and so for few like I'm on kind of a cycle of yeah, just having a medicine, and then maybe you're good for a week or 2 weeks, but coming down to the same problem, and then so we are like a hamster in the
Yeah.
cycle. And then at that time, because here in Hong Kong, some people suggested me, oh, why not? You can also try Chinese medicine. Because
Mm,
Chinese medicine, something is a bit different from just treating your symptoms, but they will see that what the people are missing. Yeah, I was also thinking about, oh, maybe I changed to Chinese doctor. But then another problem was my kids even hate the Chinese medicine as well. Kids are very challenging to take the very bitter medication.
mm,
I'm gradually shifting the idea from always going to the medication, but yeah, I shifting and then I also try other therapies. But the Reiki is what I like was very natural. Yeah, just try on my hands and yeah, it's just about breathing, just about self-healing, and sometimes it's just touch my kids. So this kind of simple practice I really like, but it didn't really go to like, oh, Reiki cure my kids' allergy. Like I didn't have that kind of story. Maybe I know that some people also have some kind of miracle healing, like because they receive Reiki and then actually symptom is just simply
mm,
disappeared. So
mm,
I know somebody really have this kind of miracle experience too, but it's not always. And it's also a little bit tricky for people that maybe I don't have to do the medicine anymore because
mm,
someone experienced Reiki and they see the someone is already healed totally. So that's why not? I'm also want to do that this way. But I can tell maybe each case are quite unique and different.
mm.
So it doesn't mean that you also have that miracle healing. No. Yeah. So yeah, still important to do what you need for your body, not just for Reiki.
Experiences are different, and you have to, still seek out medical attention and
Mm.
other things like that, even with Reiki, because of just what you were saying, the miracle experience might not be there. And have seen like the miracle healing too of like somebody did the
Mm.
breathing,
Mm.
and I've only experienced this with one student as they did the breathing and exercises, and
Mm.
then they completely cured allergies that they had had for years and
Mm.
years. Like as an adult,
Wow.
that
Mm.
even allergy seasons were really bad. And they
Mm.
said they came back and they said, I'm completely free of all the allergies, like pollen
Mm.
allergies that I've ever
Wow.
had in the past. But it's like, that's one person out of how many people
Mm.
that I've been around. And they
Mm.
weren't even doing it for that matter. They were just doing
Mm.
it because they thought the breathing felt good.
Mm.
So it wasn't even like for a purpose that they were doing it,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
then the outcome
Mm.
became really clear. So So I think like with this range of experiences,
Mm,
it's like the reputable teachers will say like,
mm,
please go and check this out, or,
mm,
you might get some benefits, or over
mm,
time it might
mm,
happen or something like that. So they won't
mm,
just say, oh yeah, of course you'll get it, because
mm,
that's just not true.
mm. So that's why I really want to emphasize that Reiki, yes, we have a healing the effects on the physical level, but
Mm,
then we really want to talk more about the life quality
yes.
because how you live life and then yeah, we all die anyway at the final version. So yeah, but I'm also find that why do you get sickness? So sometimes it's also nice for you to like from the point of why your body getting the sickness. It's not just
Mm,
because oh maybe the food I eat is not good or maybe I'm just continue my bad lifestyle. So if you try to find the reasons, maybe you can find many. But then
mhm,
I also feel that sometimes there's a reason why your body want to be sick. Yeah, because I also witnessed the cases like some people are actually even happier after they got sick. Do you understand what does it mean? Like
mhm,
usually we can imagine that having the sickness is unhappy of your life. And then definitely people want to be happy. So that's the positive idea of why you want to be
mhm,
healthy and then you want to treat your sickness. But on the other hand, sometimes we also notice that maybe some healing that you are still not happening in your emotional level or that's affect your relationships or your life in general. And then I see people actually getting this kind of happiness by becoming the you person. So
mhm,
yeah, the why your body getting the sickness. So
mhm,
it's everything about is understanding yourself, isn't it? Yeah.
mhm.
Not just the physical level, but to understand who you are. And so why do we live, So,
Yeah.
yeah, so this really simple question, but sometimes we have huge worries and yeah, a lot of things. So that's why you can't really find the answer or even you don't want to ask this question to yourself. We have a lot of things, so life gonna be very confusing and complicated. But that's something I always see through Reiki practice because every time we practice Reiki, we simply getting lighter. We
Yeah.
also realize that we don't have to think too much things. But on the
Mhm.
other hand, we also notice that why do I have to think a lot of things? Yeah.
Which is the purpose, right? Like that's the whole
Mm.
Anshin Ritsumei, our ultimate peace of mind, is
Yeah.
like that is our goal isn't
Mm.
necessarily that physical healing, like you said.
Mm.
It's that inner calm peace. And I have to say that's
Mm.
for me been the biggest benefit. Like I went through a huge change with Reiki actually
Mm.
without even realizing it until, I had already become a Reiki Shihan and everything like that of like, whoa, like my insides have
Mm.
changed and my mind
Mm.
has changed. And
Mm.
like the me now
Mm.
versus the me before I
Mm.
started Reiki are so
Mm.
different people. And
Mm.
I do think that has been for me the greatest healing and the greatest kind of self-realization. Yeah.
Mm.
Is Anshin Ritsumei through the
Mm.
practice and by continuing, just doing
Mm.
practices as I can. So
Mm.
I think maybe you felt the same way as me
Mm.
in terms of, your relationships are then affected and then
Mm.
your job is affected. And then,
Mm.
it's like this outgoing
Mm.
kind of thing that starts as a spark within ourselves. So yeah, I completely
Mm.
agree with you. It's
Mm.
ultimately all within us,
Mm.
and not necessarily physical. I think a lot of the mental stuff
Mm.
ends up being physical also because the
Mm.
body keeps the score of all our traumas. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But I really want to tell you at the end, like, don't worry.
yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes we are so worried that maybe have some fear to go forward.
Mm,
But with my Reiki practice, I really can tell you like it is not that too bad, you know. But when you are having a trouble, like you are totally, like you are maybe feel like you fell out from the cliff. So you find it a very desperate situation, even think that the life even go down more and more,
Hmm.
but that's not going to be happening. So yeah, so once you are aware, like once you have that kind of awakening, like, oh, I'm really the bottom now, but then you only can improve. Yeah,
Mm.
and then the Reiki is really most helpful for your life. So yeah, I also maybe some situation that we really want to think about, oh, Reiki can be helpful for your sick or some injury or this kind of physical issues. But then at the same time, so that's why Reiki cannot be missed for this, having a peace of mind life. You mentioned that this Anshin Ritsumei, so the life quality. So I think definitely we need to talk more about it. And then I
Hmm.
really hope more people enjoy Reiki with that kind of
Yeah.
direction, not about just healing illness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, savior complex, what's that?
Yeah,
Did you?
savior
Mm,
complex is when you think that you
mm.
can save everybody. So it's kind of like thinking that you're Jesus or something like that, where you're
Oh,
you're the one healing everybody. Whereas
ah,
I think that is a true thing too,
mm,
especially
oh,
depending on how you approach healing. But one of the things I learned early on about our Reiki practice is in our school is that let the ego go
yeah,
and
yeah,
and that it's not us healing, it's
mm,
somebody having the energy to heal themselves.
mm,
And so it's like we're just a conduit.
mm,
And so people will often say, like, when they feel so good after a session, they're like, "Oh, you did amazing things and you're
mm,
amazing because you can heal me and all this stuff." And
mm,
I'm like, "No, you healed
mm,
yourself. I was just here to
yeah,
charge your battery, to be your
mm,
phone cord." So,
mm.
yeah.
I think this is also kind of a misperception too, like
Hmm.
especially first time people, they find it, wow, your hands are amazing. And
Yeah.
then, but I didn't do anything. I couldn't do anything, but you are the special, you are the healer, like you
Hmm.
can do everything. And then, yeah, this is like, yeah, I'm the one to heal everybody, right? So this kind of
Right.
thing. Um, I
That's
think
exactly what it is.
the picture that I saw when I giving Reiki to somebody is a bit different. Yeah.
Hmm.
For me, it's like there's like a onsen, huge, nice Reiki charging battery pool here. So I'm waiting for the person in the battery pool. And then we are kind of soak at the same time together. Like, so I don't have to force myself to bring power to you, but then
Yeah.
we are kind of charging at the same time. So that's my imagination actually. I'm not like, yeah, I'm a superwoman to give you Reiki, the energy to heal somebody, but I think some imaginations are a bit different, but because I could really feel comfortable and I feel like I'm recharging myself when I give in Reiki to somebody.
Yeah.
But that's also many people actually didn't really understand at the first time, like why Satoe was talking about these things. Like, are you the one to give Reiki to me? But how come you talking about you getting better? Like, yeah. So sometimes people just don't understand how does Reiki work. But this is
Yeah.
also something more you practice, then you really realize that you help people, you help yourself. Yeah.
I
Mm.
think it's the whole, Gokai of like being kind to others.
Mm.
Like you're actually the only way you can be kind to others is if you're kind to yourself first. And so
Mm.
that is the true workings of Reiki of like we take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others. Whereas I
Mm.
think there's in a lot of the medical world, it's like you're
Mm.
sacrificing yourself because you
Yeah.
spend, 20 hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
nurse or as a doctor doing all these things. You
Mm.
sacrifice your health and
Mm.
everything to make other people better. And
Yeah.
so it's like that savior complex because it's
Oh.
like I have to save you at the
Mm.
price of myself.
Oh.
Whereas Reiki says directly in
Mm.
just our precepts of like, no,
Mm.
if you're sacrificing yourself, then how are you supposed to continue
Mm.
to walk this path and like
Mm.
and be
True.
kindness with
Mm.
others, like because
But this
otherwise we're
kind
just
of
not
a
going to reach
story is
it.
very popular in
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
right? Even nowadays, so we like these kind of stories, like a hero or heroine sacrifice their energy to save people.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Now new type of anime came out. I don't know. But when I was young, then whatever I see the anime is about heroine or hero, they're going to lose the life at the end. But
Yep.
yeah, but they are saving a lot of people, so they're like a hero. So I think this kind of story impact a lot of our life. So somehow we also believe in that this is the virtue, like your life can be like this way, which is so
Mhm.
beautiful, but it is also so sad as well.
Mhm.
Um, Reiki
Like
is
you can't be
different.
happy if everybody around you is happy almost, but
Yeah, yeah.
I really
Mm,
think that isn't true. And hopefully we're starting to realize that more and more just as like a society, because it's
mm,
actually like when we start having more of a positive mindset, that
mm,
is what we then spread to others versus
mm.
if we are always sacrificing ourselves
Yeah.
and in a negative mindset, then that's what we're giving to other people is this
Mm.
idea that, everybody has to be unhappy at the same time. So,
Yeah, I think you said a very important point as well because recently my awareness was because sometimes people feel like we just living alone.
yeah.
So what you do, it sounded like you are not really responsible for anything.
Yes.
Like maybe you think negatively or you see things or you say things, negative things, and then it sounded like because you are just alone and nobody will hear it. But I also understand this in the energy level. Yeah, because we can assume that all the things connected, then what you behave, what you think is really affecting a lot the
Yeah.
people around you. So I also didn't realize that this point for a long, long time. So I feel like, yeah, I'm just doing my life myself. And then I always feel alone and, I always have a lot of complaints but this is really damaging, not just damaging your body, but it's actually damaging your surroundings too.
Yeah.
It's very painful. So yeah, it is something similar like sacrificing the energy. So if I sacrifice my energy, it's also not nice for the environment around you and the people around you. So somehow they have some kind of ripple effect.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's I really see now. Like I can really feel like this way. So yeah, but this means we having the responsibility. Yeah, how you live life and then of course we want to be happy and having the nice life, like a lot of happiness and peace of mind. But at the same time, we also can think about how you behave and how you think and say it. Yeah, but not forcing yourself to I have to be positive.
No, and I think that's one of the things that comes naturally, though, is when
Mm,
you start having the energy to face every day and like
mm.
feel like you aren't just always giving away or like people are sucking away your energy like an energy vampire, It's like
Yeah, yeah.
when you have the energy to face, because I really do feel like that's what I was going through especially before Reiki, is like just not feeling like I even had the energy. And, of course, sometimes even now I'm
Mm,
tired and everything like that. That
mm.
doesn't go away. But I just
Yeah.
feel like now I have more energy to face things and
Mm.
to then not feel like I need to take away my or
Oh, yeah.
take out my tiredness on somebody else or
Mm,
even if I didn't get sleep for a couple of days, I still am like able to find
mm,
self-care so that
mm.
I then can pass that on to
Yeah.
somebody instead of
Mm,
taking out
mm,
that kind of anger or whatever on somebody.
mm.
It's like, oh no, I still have energy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
still pass that on.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sometimes it's amazing, yeah. Because
Yeah.
after Reiki, most of the time I become myself like, yeah, so what's next? You know?
Yeah.
So, so many things that I have to do, but oh, I could do that much, in one day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
before I couldn't do that much. I just try one and two and feel like kind of burnout, like I have no energy at all and oh, don't do that. So I'm quite
Mhm.
less motivated, but now, wow, I could do a lot of things. Yeah. So it's already proof that my energy level is kind of higher now, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it moves us from, because a lot of that
Mm,
savior complex, I think, comes from
mm,
scarcity also, of
mm,
like, I have to save you at the cost of myself, or like there's
mm,
not enough to go around.
mm,
Whereas I think like one of the, for me, greatest lessons I've learned is like abundance is actually Reiki, because if I'm being healed first and you're feeling like you're being healed, or your body has like the energy to
mm,
heal itself, like mentally, physically, however,
mm.
then it's like actually it's infinite energy.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna, your battery isn't just gonna drain out and then you have nothing. It's
Mm,
always gonna fill itself up and cycle through. So, which is
mm,
the law of energy too,
mm.
it's a real thing. So I feel like that is one of the big lessons I've learned, is living in abundance instead of living in scarcity.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, so again, I want to say it in this video, don't worry. Because life has so many, it's good things that maybe if you still didn't discover, so you definitely can discover with Reiki, then your life has so many possibilities. Yeah, even you can make your potential higher, like, so many benefits you can get. Yeah. But I think this story, for I don't know how many times we hosted in it's so uploaded in the YouTube. I hope this information helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we discuss based on the AI, the answers. Then we also give some opinion because we are just a real Reiki practitioner. So what do we feel? So this kind of information, actually, you couldn't get it by AI answers because AI
Yeah.
is just keep telling you the answers. But yeah, even the AI told you like, but sometimes AI can make mistake. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I hope this information definitely
Hallucinations.
helps. Yeah, yeah, and then I hope you like more or you like to discover more about Reiki or
Mhm.
so. Yeah, so to find out Reiki, so you can also, we give you some points to know, like, so what you have to be careful to find where to learn, for example. Yeah, but if you have any question, we also welcome any questions. So you can actually leave the comment below, or you can find our contact, maybe email or website that you can send a message to us. So yeah, we look forward to hearing from you as well. So thank you for watching. Thank you,
Thank
Maddie.
you.
Okay.